And I created this webinar because it was exactly for that past version of me. I used to be stuck in my head constantly, overthinking, overstimulated, exhausted. And I knew what I needed to do to come back to myself logically. However, to actually be able to do that was a different story. And so I'm going to share with you today some tools where you can actually start to embody this, to actually live this peaceful life, and to move past that noise that can really create so much turmoil in our minds as well. So, firstly, I'd love for you to just stop for a moment, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Pop your feet flat on the floor, and we're just going to take a deep breath with us today. So, in through the nose and sigh it out through your mouth, becoming present in this space. There's nothing to fix, nothing to prove, and nothing to perform here today. You are welcome and accepted exactly as you are. Okay, so what are we going to get into today? Just going to make sure I've got the notes open. Trish, I love to take notes, so I apologize if my head is down. No, I love that. That is so great. And I am exactly the same. And when we write things down, like it imprints in our unconscious mind so much more as well. So beautiful. Who have we got? Adelaide, Bundaberg. So great. All right. Today I will talk about my story and what shifted for me. We'll talk about why our minds won't switch off. I'll share with you a 3-step reset to be able to actually learn how to turn our minds off and to bring that presence and peace into our lives. I'm going to introduce you to the slow living way, which is my philosophy in calming the nervous system, having a really great mindset, and being able to handle anything that happens in life. And then at the end, I will invite you in further if this resonates with you and you feel like you're at that stage and ready to go deeper into this work as well. All right. So my story and my turning point. This photo on the left is a photo of me in the June-July school holidays in 2022. And at the time my cousin took it, I didn't realize she was taking it. And though looking at it, it just shows me exactly those feelings that I was having at that time. I was exhausted. I was living in my head. I was high functioning and just doing everything for everyone else and nothing for myself. I was working as a registered nurse in palliative and oncology pediatrics, and also a mum to 2 young boys, a husband that was working away during the week and back on the weekends. And I was doing everything I can to be a really great mum, a really great nurse, and just feel good enough. So I was giving to everyone else and not giving anything to myself. Sure, I knew about all of the self-care tools and tips, and you should be doing this and you should be doing that. Though at the time, I felt like that was just another thing that was added to my to-do list. It actually wasn't allowing me to reset my nervous system, to have the right mindset to be able to support myself as well. So I kept going, I kept giving, and I recognized that I was very overwhelmed and stressed. So I had these holidays coming up in June, July, 2 weeks on the school holidays to go away and spend time with family and friends. And I thought that was going to fix me. I'd go away, have a break, and then come back and everything would be great. So that didn't happen. And I reached the point where I came back, and that first day of work, I went into my office and I just cried for 4 hours straight. The things that were going through my mind was, I can't do this. I'm a shit mum. I'm a shit nurse. I was overthinking everything, all of the tasks, all the to-do lists. And it would just had hit that point where it was all too much for me. And my nervous system could not take that anymore. So after those 4 hours of crying, I was like, I can't stay here anymore. I called my boss and said, I'm sick. I need to go home. And I didn't share my office with anyone. So no one had realized what was going on for me. Put my sunglasses on, sort of hid as I walked out of the hospital, and went home and realized that I was in such a deep depression. I felt hopeless. I was exhausted, and I actually just didn't want to be here anymore. The pain that I was feeling and that consistent overwhelm and stress, I just didn't think I could handle it. The next day, I was like, right, no, I can do this. I've just got to keep going and pushing through. And so I woke up in the morning and the tears started again. And this was my nervous system response. As soon as I became overwhelmed or stressed out, overthinking, I would just break down into tears. That's what my body knew how to do. So I woke up in the morning and started the tears. My husband talked me around and said, come on, you can do this. It's okay. We can get through this. And I got the kids to school, got in the car, got to the car park at work, and the same thing happened. I wasn't listening to my body and what was actually going on for me. I phoned a friend and she talked me through it. And again, I thought, no, I can do this. I'm going to push through. I can get into the office. I couldn't actually make myself turn down the corridor to go to the office. I just felt so overwhelmed. It was all sitting in my chest. I was shaking. And I managed to walk into my boss's office and just immediately collapsed on the floor. I was having a panic attack. I was hyperventilating. I was sobbing in tears, shaking uncontrollably. And this shaking had started the few months beforehand. And this was just a point where it reached that breaking point and I couldn't hold it in anymore. It was then that my boss turned around to me and said, you cannot be here. You need to go home. I'll call you in a few days. And so I went home feeling like I was a failure. Like I was a shit nurse. I was a shit mum. I have the house. I have the family. I have the kids. I have all of this stuff. I should be happy. I should be able to cope. Though I wasn't. And I had pushed myself to the point where I couldn't do anything anymore. I ended up actually having to take 5 months off work and to really reconnect with myself. I was suicidal at that point. And the thing that actually helped me to start to shift was reaching out with a life coach on social media. She had been a nurse. She was a mum. She'd used food and alcohol to numb herself just as I had been doing. And though she had changed her life. I had a call with her, which was one of the most terrifying things I've ever done. Jumping on a call and talking to her and saying, this is where I'm at. I don't want to live anymore. I don't know what to do. And she reassured me that things can be different, that she was there as well, and she'd gotten through this. So I started working with her over a 12-week coaching package thing. And within a couple of weeks, things had started to shift. I had chosen myself. I was starting to do small things, like even just popping a glass of water on my bedside table at night, so that in the morning, I drank that water and I'd already achieved something for myself. I started to see hope and my beliefs started to shift and my nervous system started to heal. One of the greatest memories that I have during this period, and it was not long after I started working with her, was actually sitting on the couch, and journaling was a really big thing for me then. And I'd sat on the couch and this realization hit me that no one else was coming to save me and that I needed to do the work myself. And it was almost like a veil or like this lightness came over me. And I went, right, I've seen that there's hope. I'm still here. I just need to make those small choices to change my life. And so having that shift, that change in, I can take responsibility for myself and change my life just helped to shift everything for me. And that was that turning point. The moment that I decided that I get to come first. And from there, that's where I decided I wanted to help other women in this journey as well. To help them before they get to that point of burnout, of not wanting to be here. To learn how to support your nervous system, your mindset, and really create that life that you want. Because we can do that. And so that's why we're here today. This is the exact webinar that I needed as my previous self. So let's start talking about overthinking. And to be honest, it's exhausting going through the same thing in your head over and over, really not knowing where it's coming from, feeling overstimulated, overdoing things. And I wonder if you can relate to this. I'm guessing that if you're here, if you're watching the replay, then you can relate to this in some way. You see, it's not just the overthinking that is the problem. It's the effects that it has on our body, on our relationships, your work, your entire life. And I would love for you, if you feel this, to pop a yes in the chat box. Is that overthinking something that is playing out in different areas of your life? Not just in your mind, but your body as well, your connections with others, the relationships. Pop a yes if you feel this. Yeah. Great. So the truth with overthinking is that most women believe that overthinking is just who we are. I've always been like this. I have a busy brain. I'm wired this way. It's not true at all. It is not a personality trait. It's actually a protective pattern. Your mind is loud because it's learnt that thinking actually provides you with safety. When something feels uncertain, unpredictable, or emotionally unsafe, our nervous system activates. It jumps into that fight, that flight, that freeze, that fawn response. And then our brain tries to solve what's going on for us because we don't want to feel this way. That is not safety. Our brain starts to predict things. It can prepare for the worst that may happen. It can analyze things and try to control them. Even though there may not be a tiger in the room with you, it may feel like it's a tiger in the room. That control feels safer than the uncertainty that you're feeling. The thing is that if overthinking was a personality trait, it would be consistent. It would be there all the time. But it's not. You don't overthink when you feel deeply safe. You don't overthink when you are fully present in a moment. And you don't overthink when you trust. So what does that tell us? It tells us that it's not who you are, though it is learned. And anything that we can learn, we can unlearn as well. It's not that tiger in the room. And our mind does not know what is reality and what is not. So as soon as we start overthinking, thinking about all of those possible scenarios, then our body will feel it. A great example of this is my husband goes out fishing on his own quite often, and he'll go out at night and he'll go out all night. If he's late, my mind starts writing him off. It's like, okay, what if he's hit his head and he's fallen in the water? Oh no. So then I have like this visual, this vivid imagination. Like I can see the police coming to my door and telling me he's gone. Then I start imagining, okay, how am I going to run the farm without him here? We'll need to move somewhere else. And oh, maybe we can live with my mum and dad. And like it's totally written him off and created this whole story because my mind is working to protect me. Though it's probably just that maybe he's having a great time and catching a lot of fish and stayed out a little bit later. Now, I want to know if you're ready to release this overthinking. If you're ready to let this go, to learn the tools, and there's 3 simple steps that I'm going to teach you today. If you're ready to release it, pop a yes in the chat box and let me know. Let's commit to making this happen. Yeah, need to let it go. Okay, so this is what's actually happening when we're overthinking. That body is feeling unsafe, and so our mind tries to control it. There's not a tiger in the room. Our brain seeks certainty. So our brains are wired for protection, and they're constantly asking what's coming next. What am I prepared for? Is there a threat around it all? When life feels uncertain, and that could be in relation to relationships, work, motherhood, health, money, the brain increases our thinking to create that certainty. So if you've got a lot of things going on, a few different stresses in different areas of your life, then overthinking is going to get worse. Your mind believes that it can figure it out and that it will be able to help you feel safe. Our nervous system seeks safety is the next thing. So if you have learned that slowing down isn't safe, that mistakes aren't safe, that disappointing people is not safe, your nervous system will stay activated. That activated body then creates an activated mind. And then we come to identity. So a lot of us as women have built an identity around being responsible, capable, prepared, strong, reliable, being a great mum, a great wife, great sister, anything that it might be. That identity is subtly telling us it's my job to hold it all together. I need to do all of this to feel good enough. So when something feels uncertain, our identity steps in. I'll think harder, I'll plan more, and I'll prepare for every outcome so that I'm ready for whatever happens. Because that control feels safer than surrendering to those feelings. So again, what happens when we overthink? Our brain is trying to predict, and write this one down, Trish, if you've got your pen there. So your brain is trying to predict, your nervous system is trying to feel safe, and your identity is trying to stay in control. This is not a weakness. There's nothing wrong with you. You are not broken. It's protection. Overthinking isn't actually the problem behind all of this. It's your nervous system working to keep you safe, your brain reducing uncertainty, and again, your identity is protecting who you believe you are. I'd love to know if this is landing for you. Can you just let me know in the chat box? Trish is saying yes. Great. Perfect. Now, I want to share a story with you before we get into the 3-step reset of a client of mine that came to me about 18 months ago. So she was at the time a mum of a little 3-year-old boy, a wife. She worked part-time. Her husband owns a business and runs that full-time. And she was just exhausted. She felt like she was not where she wanted to be in life, where she was meant to be, and she didn't know who she was anymore. She had a few medical conditions going on as well. And so when she had her son, she had some trauma surrounding that too. When we started working together, we started working on that nervous system first, learning how to create safety within herself and being able to identify what was going on for her in those moments of overthinking and overwhelm, being able to name that, to understand that it's her nervous system working to protect her, to provide that safety, for her mind to protect her, and her identity that she believed she was. So naming it, then feeling those feelings within her body, because we all feel them in different areas, and coming back to the simple tools to shift her feelings. So we worked together over an 8-week period. And during that time, she learned to reconnect with herself, to work out who she was as a woman, and to create that peace in any moment. She had been wanting to have a baby as well. And so overthinking, stress, the trauma from her first child was all causing her to just create these, what if this happens? What if that happens? And it was providing so much stress on her body that she felt so stuck and she was not falling pregnant. At the end of the 8 weeks, we went on, she actually attended a retreat just as we finished the 8 weeks, and around that time fell pregnant as well. And she's recently had a beautiful baby girl and is able to recognize that overthinking, that stress, and has the tools to name it, to feel it, and then to move through it as well. She sent me a beautiful message a couple of days ago, and I want to share it with you. This is all with her consent. She says, I'm doing really well. I've worked through so much in the last few days. So this was after having her baby girl. And I've been so proud of myself every step, feeling so content and well supported. It's truly an incredible feeling. And this is the feeling that you get to have when you are able to create that safety in yourself to stop the mind from overthinking and have the tools to be able to move through this in those moments when life happens. Like, shit happens. There's always something that's going to come up. When you learn these tools, then you're able to move through absolutely anything. So the shift for me was that it wasn't about fixing my thoughts. That wasn't the problem at all. The problem was not the overthinking. It was teaching my body that I was safe. I had read all the books. I'd done the mindset work. I'd tried to change my thoughts from negative to positive. And though it wasn't actually doing anything to change my reality, sometimes it worked for a period of time, but then it all came back again. Underneath it all, my body was still in survival mode, that fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. I was high functioning. I was capable and responsible. And internally, I was braced for anything to happen. And my mind was doing the same. It was planning constantly. So that first thing was about teaching my body it was safe. When our body feels safe, the mind will naturally soften. And when the nervous system settles, your thinking will reduce on its own. So this is where the women get stuck. And I see this so often in my clients that come to me. We think that we need to change those thoughts without actually worrying about the body that is driving those thoughts, those automatic responses. So let's talk about the 3-step reset. This is taking you from control into safety. I'm going to check the chat box. No, we're all good. All right. So the first step is naming it. When you notice this overthinking, spiraling, starting to go, then say internally to yourself, this is protection. You're not spiraling. It's not here we go again. It's not why am I like this? It's just protection. There's nothing wrong with you. So when the brain knows what it's dealing with, it will calm. And when you call it protection, you're actually removing the shame around it as well. There's nothing wrong with you. You are not broken. So if you're ready to release this, I'd love for you to write in the chat box, this is protection. And Trish, write this on your piece of paper too. When we write it down, it will help to imprint in our unconscious mind. This is protection. Naming it is the first step. Step 2 is locating it. So gently asking yourself, where do I feel this in my body? It's not what am I thinking? The thoughts don't matter. It's where am I feeling it? Maybe for you, it's a tightness in the chest, a knot in your stomach, a buzz in your shoulders, or maybe a pain in your head as well. This overthinking lives in your body first. The thoughts are just the surface for them. So I'd love for you to close your eyes for a moment, take a deep breath, and have a think. When you overthink, when you get into stress mode, where is it in your body that you feel it? I usually feel it in my chest. It's like this heaviness in my chest. Actually, as soon as I said that, I felt it. It's like this weighing down and pressing down on my chest. And it wasn't until I actually started working with the nervous system that I realized what was going on for me. Before it was there, but I wasn't really aware of what was going on for me. Yeah, Mandy, can let it go. All right, let me know. Where do you feel it? For most women, I have found it is usually in the chest or the belly. It's those internal spaces. So then the next step, step 3, is about lengthening your exhale. So deepening that breath to slow our heart rate, to slow our breathing, and to connect in with our body. So let's do that for a moment. Closing our eyes down. If you're driving and listening to the replay, please don't close your eyes. Closing your eyes in through your nose and then sighing it out through the mouth and allowing your exhale to be longer than the inhale. In through the nose and then sighing it out through the mouth. Even the sound of that sigh, the audible sound, helps to calm your nervous system instantly. Take some more deep breaths at your own pace. In through the nose and sighing slowly out through your mouth. You want to really lengthen that exhale. Beautiful. And so it's that simple. Naming it, locating it, and lengthening your exhale. There's no solving, there's no analyzing, and there's no fixing of those thoughts. You have just shifted from control into safety. I'd love for you to notice now. What are you feeling? How does that feel for you? Is that feeling still there or has it shifted? Mandy, feel it in my chest and gut, even the shoulder blades. Yeah, interesting. And how are you feeling now, Mandy? After just some simple deep breaths. So just going back, all you need to do in those moments of overthinking is to name it. This is protection. Locate it. Where am I feeling it within my body? And then breathe. Lengthen that exhale. Calm your nervous system. And take action towards what you need to do. You don't need to be stuck in those thoughts. This all may sound really simple because it actually is. If you consistently do this, then it will change your life. You will stop that overthinking. And the key is to actually make sure you're doing it in those times when you're not overthinking. Because your unconscious mind will then learn how to do this, that it actually calms your nervous system with that deep breathing. And then it'll be more inclined to do it in those times when you are stressed out or overwhelmed. You don't want to be doing anything new when you're feeling that stress and overwhelm already. Calm, lighter, relieved. I feel it in the top part of my chest and forehead, and now feel a little less heavy in the chest. I feel like my forehead feels wider. Yeah, that could make sense. Like it's more open. Is that what you mean? Yeah, beautiful. That's great. So imagine if you could do this consistently. And then just in those 3 steps to stop that overthinking in its tracks. One reset changes a moment, though that repetition will change our identity. Going from overthinking to that sense of peace. All it takes is doing this 3-step reset repetitively. And I don't mean you have to be doing it all the time. If you can just add this into your day, once a day, take those deep breaths and really connect with yourself. Most of us will have at least one episode of overthinking in a day. So if you can catch that one time, you're one step closer to jumping that bridge or walking over that bridge, whatever you want to do on that bridge, and being closer to peace. Now I want to introduce you to the slow living way. This is another tool that can really help you to create peace in the moment, to understand what's going on for you, to create safety in your nervous system, and to actually stop that overthinking, to stop our mind from trying to protect us. This is just protection. So S stands for stop. So stopping in the moment. L is about listening inwards. So that's the checking in with your body. Where do I feel it in my body? What am I feeling? Open and observe without fixing it. There's no judgment here. And then wondering, what could be different? What might need to change? What do I need? What is my body telling me? Why does slow work? So this helps to regulate your nervous system. It rewires those mental patterns. So again, that repetition. It builds self-trust. You have evidence that you can actually calm yourself in those moments when you need to, and introduces peace rather than that overthinking. It's kind of like my blend of science, mindset, and spirituality all in one. And I absolutely love it. So I want you to just imagine for a moment, if your baseline wasn't tension, if slowing down didn't feel unsafe, if you trusted yourself and peace felt normal, what would change in your life? Share it in the chat if you'd like to. How would life be different for you? I know for me, it's just a sense of knowing that everything will be okay. Oh, sorry, Trish, what part did you want me to say again? Yeah, for me, it was being able to, and even waking up in the morning. I used to wake up with dread and think, oh no, not another day. I don't want to feel this. I don't want to have to go through all of this. The constant worry, the stress, the overthinking in my mind. Now I get to wake up excited for the day and knowing that I can handle whatever happens. Slowing down didn't feel safe. Said a few strong, bold statements. Was that on the last slide? Is it that one?
Hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. So you said, because as soon as you said it, I started thinking, and then I kind of got stuck on the first thing that you said. You said if slowing down didn't feel unsafe, and then you said, and dun dun dun, and then you said dun dun dun, and then you asked the question, how would your life be different now? Those kind of four sentences you said.
Okay. I'm trying to think of what I said now. A
If
lot of
slowing
my
down,
stuff just comes out. I just say it. I
yeah,
wonder if it was um
slowing down didn't feel unsafe. Might have even just been the last slide that you had on after this one.
after this one.
Yeah.
So there's the
Might have,
slow
no,
way.
keep going. Next one. Mm, that one.
Or
Yeah, maybe this one. Maybe you just
that.
elaborated as
I
you said
think
it.
that's
Yeah.
what it was. Yeah. So yeah, imagining if your base, whoops, I went the wrong way now, totally. If your baseline wasn't tension, so if slowing down didn't feel unsafe, you trusted yourself and peace felt normal. What would life look like for you? What would life feel like? If that shift was there. And I wonder if you're ready for that. It would be amazing to not think, damn, upon waking. It was huge for me. It was something that I would feel all the time, to feel positive and back to feeling present and full opportunity and hope. You get there, Mandy. Each day, do this reset. Seriously, the reset and the slow living consistently, and your nervous system will come back to a state of calm. I'd have my old self back. I'd have more energy and confidence. Tamika, yeah. Trish, it would feel calm. Yeah. It's and the one of the biggest words that I get from women is a lightness. There's this sense of everything feeling lighter. That heaviness is gone. that weighing down is gone from life. And it's really beautiful. So I want to introduce you to my container, Finding You the Slow Living Way. And this is for women who are tired of living their heads. You want peace that lasts. You're ready to stop surviving and actually live. Being stuck in that fight, flight, freeze fawn responses, like that's no way to live. And if you continuously live like that, you'll find you reach a point where you can't keep going anymore. And you're done doing this on your own with no long-term results. Now, some people can do it on their own. Don't get me wrong. For me, I needed that support there. I'd read all the books, I'd done all the podcasts, all those sorts of stuff, and I knew what I should be doing, and it just wasn't working. It wasn't actually being embodied, and I wasn't following through on things. And I needed a space like this to be able to support myself in doing that. These are some of the reviews from women who have previously done this 4-week container. And it's just so beautiful to actually see where they come from, that stress, that overwhelm, the overthinking. And then by the end of the 4 weeks, we have a group chat, and quite often you'll find at the end, they're like, so this happened to me, and in the past I would have done this, but I handled it so much different. And we can celebrate each other and really share those wins as well. And it's really beautiful to see how much of a change even just those 4 weeks can create, and the lifelong connections that it creates as well. So there's a huge amount of value in this. So what you get is 4 weeks in an online portal. There's videos, there's learning, there's different practices to do each week as well. We have a group call at Wednesdays at 7:30 p.m. where we connect, we talk about the content for the week, and we support each other with anything that's going on in life. We have a group chat and ongoing coaching. So this is where the real-time change comes in your life. If you're having a crap day, if you have a conversation and it's replaying over and over and over in your mind, you jump in that chat, say, hey, this is going on for me. I need some support around it. And we will help you through that. So it's rewiring those processes in the brain at that particular time when it's happening. And that is key in changing your life moving forwards. There's breathwork and mindset tools in here. And then you also get lifetime access to the recordings and the resources as well. So the package itself at the moment is $333, or you can do a payment plan for $90 per week as well. Now, quite often I have women who don't want to step over and invest in themselves. This is where, again, that overthinking starts. So if you feel the pull to this, if you know you need something more to support you, and though your mind starts going, I can't spend money on myself, I can't afford to do the time sounds like you're going to jail, to invest the time in myself to do this, I want you to do that 3-step reset. Name it. This is my mind protecting me right now because I'm feeling unsafe in my body. Feel where you feel it, and then lengthen that exhale. And feel what you know is right. Again, we get so stuck in our heads. It's our heads our minds protecting ourselves. And when we can use this 3-step reset to come back into our body and to calm ourselves, then we can make a decision. We all know how hard it is to make a decision when you're overthinking things in your head. The information that you've received today has given you some steps to move forward. That's the information. This 4-week container is the transformation. This is really embodying the work. and stepping into that next version of you. So that is the link there. There is also a link that Christine has popped in the chat as well. Jump on there, have a look. If you have any questions, let me know. If you're not sure if it's right for you as well and you want to have more of a chat about it, please reach out to me, message me, and we'll jump on a call and